Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to analyzing the stories that we read out to you, and we have our very own in-house journalist, analyst. He is Dokita Olamide. Great to have you on the show today.
Good to have you, and Merry Christmas in advance. It's beginning to look like Christmas.
Most definitely.
Dokita is already in Christmas spirit already. Love to see it.
What do you mean by that?
But you just
How do you actually know people who are already in the Christmas?
Someone like you now, there's
Why,
no
how
need
do
to
you
look
know?
at you twice again.
What about you?
For people that wear white, those
What about
ones,
you?
the white is without
And people that are wearing so many reds everywhere.
even though
She's just
trying
to justify herself.
You know, initially this morning when we came on board and they're like, okay, this is the outfit for the day, and I'm like, oh my god. But then
Is it that it's Mother Christmas?
yeah, exactly.
Christmas.
You know when you say, thank God we don't look like what we are going through, but this one we're looking like what is
What's
going on.
Exactly.
All right, viewers, you can call in now to make your contributions or ask your question, or also contribute to matters that we'll be discussing. Or if you find any of the headlines that interest you, please call us to let us know, and also tell us how Christmas is going on in your area. Are you seeing the Christmas light? Are you seeing the Christmas tree? Does it look like Christmas? Because it is already 4 days to Christmas. So are you 2023 Christmas ready? All right, let's go straight to our headline for this morning, and we'll begin with Daily Sun. And I'm going to take I'll ask you two questions, and I'd like to take them together. Both, one is political and the other is not. Now, Daily Sun says Christmas food price, fair rise as Tinubu approves 50% transport subsidy. Federal government takes over half interstate travel costs by vehicles, 100% for train trips for 15 days. And I heard a particular part where Messi read that NRC, that's the Railway Corporation, is saying that if you've not booked your ticket, then don't even come anywhere close. But now with this, am I going to call it intervention or palliative from the federal government in terms of this for this discount or free fare? What is that actually? Is it a right step in the right direction, trying to cut costs, the fact that things are already expensive, but federal government is trying to see how we can cushion the effect? Because now you have motorists coming out to say, we don't know anything about it. So imagine me going to, for instance, one Jabi Park, and I want to board a particular vehicle that is well known, that is well preferred, and then I'm telling them that federal government says it is free or it is 50% drop. They would remind me federal government does not pay my bill. It is my business. So now let's get your thoughts in that. Is that any way better at all?
Let me just clear this. That federal government had just played a game that will cause problem between the transporters and the customers.
How so?
Number one thing is, can federal government point out the number of vehicles that applies road every day? That's number one. Number two, how many transport organizations are registered under federal government? Number two. Number three, how many vehicles do the federal government own that apply rules as an interstate? That's number three. So if all these three questions are not being answered correctly, then federal government is just playing a game.
So that means it's more easier for NRC because they are federal government owned.
Exactly. If federal government could have actually stayed on their lane.
But don't you think it's easy for them to liaise with these other companies?
It is not easy, because if you liaise with this, they're registered under CAC. What about those? And don't forget that this organization that actually, this transport organization that actually registered under federal government are 2% of 100%. Check it very well. If you are talking about flights now, it's actually possible, because
why is that possible? You also have private owners of
we
flights.
have private owners, but there is no private flights that is not under that body, that is not registered, and there is no way you are going to fly without the consent of the body. But in the case of road, in the case of water,
but you have,
it's not like that.
They have association, they have RTN.
Okay, now let me tell you, both RTN and what do they call this? is it WTR or whatever?
Maybe I'm
now,
trying to just
the association is just meant to collect tickets. Go and find out. I have worked with buses as a conductor. I know what is operating. The association is just to collect tickets. Remit, if they are collecting tickets at the rate of 200, they remit to 15 naira to the state pos, and that's all. But talk about knowing the exact number of buses, cars that are actually loading in their, even in their own park. Go and ask now. Most of them did not even know, because people come, people go. So unlike a plane, that there is no way you just say, hey, please, I want to load, and you know that one is regulated because it is air. But here we have federal government is actually telling us, okay, fine, go to park. You go to Japi Park, as you've said, or you go to Maraba Park. Go and tell, or you tell boat driver, or you tell Uber driver, or you tell these drivers that, okay, fine, federal government had actually paid 50%, and you will see what they will tell you. The federal government that paid 50%, did they actually pay into the account? Which account did the federal government pay to? That's the first question you ask.
All right, let's quickly take this call before we go ahead. Hello, good morning, Elder Zion.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elder Zion.
Hello.
Good morning. Elder Zion seems to be listening to our argument
this morning.
Yeah, happy Christmas.
Same to you, sir.
My distinguished I'm amused at what you people are saying. I'm amused. You see, we are really in danger in this country. Those who are not ready to administer Nigeria at the first of this country, it's just a pity. It's just a pity. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. You see, this government behaves as motopark cows. I'm sorry to say it. They don't check what they're doing. They don't have any plan. Okay, like what two people are saying about this transportation something. How much money was budgeted? If a government wants to carry out a project, there must be a budget for that. How much money was budgeted? Nothing. As the analyst was saying, how many transport companies were engaged? What of the data? So all these things is just confusing Nigerians. Tinubu is not ready to rule. The area he realizes this is better for Nigeria. All this magu uru bribri will not help Nigeria. Thank you, people. I wish you a good Christmas celebration. In Jesus' name.
Amen. We wish you the same too. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Elder Zion.
Thank you, Elder Zion, for your contribution.
So, I'd like to just ask you a quick one. Still on this matter. Do you think the federal government would have probably made proper plans? Because even at that, we see how the NURTW, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like going through that axis would have probably done better.
Even going through that axis, I'm telling you, Mercy, that it will not work. If you want to do that in this country, the first thing you need to do is the registration of every vehicles loading in every park. That's the first thing. Do we have
know this thing transcends beyond parks, right?
Yeah.
Because we even have other buses that don't work from the park.
From the park. That's another thing. Another thing is, if the federal government actually really want to do it, they would have budget. They will have budget for that, and it will have been presented at the NAS level. So we will have known, okay, fine, federal government is actually budgeting 3 billion naira for this season, transport discounts or whatsoever. So we will know, okay, how much is going to each state, which transport organization are they liaising with? Are they actually partnership with, in partner with? If you cannot partner, the federal government cannot partner with every organization, every transport organization. That one is very sure. So people will know which organization, which transport organization are they running to? Are you going to? And if that case is going to happen, then we will know that federal government will have a particular agreement that, okay, fine, this organization this year, the next year we have this set of organizations, so that the left out organization will not be fighting with another thing. Are you get what I'm saying? Because they are going to be at the losing ends too. So federal government is just playing game. That is just a fact. Whether you like it or not, this is a game, and that will cause problem whether we like it or not, because people will never want to agree.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning
my
to you.
name is Chris John. I'm calling from Nasarawa.
Chris John from Nasarawa. Great to hear from you. Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Yes. Well, what I really want to say about our transport system is the fact that Nigeria has a very archaic transport system.
Okay.
And the efforts of government to turn around the fortunes of our transport system has failed because there's no logical thinking regarding the processes of our transport system. The National Transport Union that we have, the government should be able to partner with the transport union and put in place a system where we're able to register all the buses that are under the system. And of course, if you look at the size of our population, and if you look at the size of our transport system, we patronize more of the road transport than even any other system. So that from there we're able to register every bus, we're able to have the particulars of every bus, we're able to monitor. And of course, I can tell you, even if we give a massive discount, you understand, government will be able to rake in a lot of revenue. And then we are able to control in terms of safety and security.
Most definitely.
Yesterday in Nasarawa State, I just witnessed a bus that came all the way from Lagos, didn't have brakes. About 4 or 5 people, God just saved us from a very massive disaster. People who had their limbs and legs, their limbs and their hands broken up. So I think that all these things that we're trying to do to show as if we are good is not making us efficient and effective.
All right.
So I think we need to rethink.
All right.
Like in Lagos, we have so many transport parks in Jibo, in Mile 12 and other places. If we can organize these buses and provide support for them, you understand, and then register them diligently and effectively, we will be able to achieve what we want in terms of our transport.
Thank you so much, Chris John from Nasarawa State. Thank you for your contribution.
Let me quickly add this before we move out of that talk. Okay. This is my own opinion. It's not KAFTAN opinion, neither is anyone's opinion. Okay. And I'm not here as a KAFTAN staff. I am here as an analyst. Okay. And I want to say whatever I say now is my own. I am responsible for it. I want to tell you categorically, I want to tell Nigerians categorically that with the introduction of these discounts, this government led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu just want to steal. That's just it.
Excuse you.
Yeah, they just want to steal. Because the funds...
That's a slander, do you know?
Yeah. Believe me sincerely. Come. We're all here. But I am just telling you that by January, February, March, you will see the amount of money that the federal government will come out to tell us that they actually spent on this 50% stuff.
But don't you think this should have even happened before they actually came out to say, oh, we're giving people 50% subsidy?
When you don't make any plan, there is no plan at all. You just jump into how would a reasonable person jump into such conclusion? If you actually have told us on train, yes, it is actually it's possible because you control it. If you actually tell us that on flight, it is possible. But talk about water.
But are you saying,
and road? It's not going to be possible.
But then even water has is in Niwa. That's their.
Despite that, go to Ilaje. I've been on water. I have traveled over 7 hours on water with boats. I know a lot of people that that has boats, that they have their own boats, and nobody know them, and they're working just like buses are working.
So are you saying
I went to Lagos just last week now.
So Dokita, are you saying that transportation companies that people trust and know so much, all those big names, the GUOs, the God is Good, GI, are you saying that they're not registered with CAC?
That's what I'm saying, that those ones are registered. How many people are those ones carrying now? How many percentage? It's just 2%. That's what I'm saying.
Analyze something, because I have a list here with me. I'm saying 28 routes where they're applying for this Christmas. And let's quickly take them. We have Lagos to Kano, then we have Lagos to Abuja, we have Lagos, Kaduna to Zaria, we have Lagos to Jos, Lagos to Enugu, Lagos to Onitsha, Lagos to Owerri, Lagos to Aba, Lagos to Abakaliki, Lagos to Nsukka, Lagos to Uyo, Lagos to P8, Lagos to Kano, Lagos, Onitsha to Lagos.
Okay,
well,
wait.
Tell me, we have 28.
Let me just say, let's take Lagos to Abuja, for example.
No, we have Abuja to Lagos. So we equally have Abuja to some other states.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, in all of this, we have 28 routes. But we have just 5 buses that the federal government has layers to it. And that's the God is Good, Chisco Transport, Young Shall Grow, God Bless Ezewanta, and then I think Area Moto.
Can you see what I've said?
5 places. How do you expect 5 companies to take people to 28 different routes?
Can you see?
Annabel,
and what I'm saying.
You remember I spoke about probably not having stampede at the end of the day in most of these bus stations.
And let me just give you an example, Mercy. I went through air, and I actually came back through road.
Okay.
From Lagos to Abuja, at least on the road, I think I met like more than 28 Siennas loading on the road, and they have no name.
Exactly.
They have no
I
name.
know people will prefer to enter those ones.
Because it's not one.
Is that not the Sole?
It's not just Sole. It's not Sole.
Yeah. It's a motor park. I traveled too. I traveled to last week, and it was even Sienna that took me. And most of these Siennas don't have any tag. They're not under any motor
on any transport organization.
Exactly.
So what are we not saying?
Okay, at times we've actually spent a lot of time on that one. Let's quickly move to the next one. Oshomole, biggest threat to APC, says Amosun, as he calls him man of little education and exposure, says that he conducted the worst party primaries. Let's get your thoughts.
Well, the person that actually, I will not even mention because you've mentioned it, but the only thing is just that it saddens my heart every time when the ball is not in your court and you are trying to play game with it. He was once defending the same Oshiomole, and now because
tables have turned.
Table turned, and because you now have Tinubu, Oshiomole is actually trying to chastise in Buhari and in support of Tinubu. Then you were now what we were saying then, that you said no, we said yes. You said nay, but now you are not referring to it back, so there's nothing there. All of them are bed of a feather that flocks together. There's nothing, so we know very sure that anything that comes out of all this, I'm talking about all these leading politicians, whatever that comes out of them, you don't believe it, because tomorrow when table turns, they'll still tell you another thing. So for now, the only thing I'm actually concerned about is this Oshiomole, because the plate that fed you should not be broken, because if you actually break,
what do you mean by the plate that fed you?
Yeah.
You know, during the time of Buhari, Oshiomole got a lot of things, you know, a lot of opportunities, and that was because Buhari actually gave that opportunity out. So now that it's another era and you are not a senator, does not mean that, don't forget that this same person actually gave you his support when you wanted to become a chairman. So for you to have enjoyed such benefit from him, and now because another person is on board, you are now actually blaming or sending blames on that. No, it doesn't work like that. That is exactly what is happening presently in PDP, that made PDP to be scattered to this level. So I think if he's not being cautioned, this might be the hand of Oshiomole.
Okay, so because you talked about PDP, let's quickly take that one in 1 minute, if you can help us, so we can go to the next one before I'll leave the show. because you talked about PDP, let's go straight to Rivers State with the VK Fubara crisis and then the resolution that was brought forth, the truce that was brought forth by the president to ameliorate that situation. And then you have some people saying that it's looking like because Wike is the Tinubu's boy, so it's now looking like, okay, President Tinubu just settled it in the favor of his guy. So now it's now looking like, Fubara, you are left on your own, because now you are forced to accept those 24 men who decided on their own to leave the assembly. Now you must accept them and accept those resolution, because now there's a signature of the NSA who is supposed to be apolitical, and then that means that his signature means that it is binding. What are your thoughts on this?
There are three things. Number one is that I want to actually say Tinubu had done so very well, because for a leader to have done that, he tried. Number two, I want to say that PDP is a failed party. Number three, if I am in position of Fubara, even as a cat, not as a human being, I would never sign such agreement.
Is that the reason why he refused to sign the peace accord?
I will because that's a so-called resolution where I'd actually put Fubara in a state of no return. It's nothing. It doesn't have any. It's just like you having a slave. That's just the meaning of that. But the facts still remain that PDP gave that chance, and Fubara between Fubara and Wike, every one of us knows that he shouldn't have taken such step anyway, because whosoever brought you into power with an agreement, you follow the agreement. But
those at the detriment of people.
That is why when you were coming, people have actually been telling me, when you were coming in, why did you come in through such channel? The channel that you know is not proper. Why did you come through such channel? If you know you are not going to follow it, follow what people want. When you are coming in, so that you'll be able to do the will of the people. But since you did not come through the will of the people, saying you should face the consequence. That's just it.
So you're saying that agreement is agreement here.
Agreement is an agreement. This is politics. Let's forget about. I'm not saying Fubara should not do the right thing now, but the fact is, since you've put yourself into it, you agreed before you were being put in that position. You cannot say 100% that people vote for you. Can he say that? So somebody that actually worked to that extent, you now want to turn your back at him, even if you are the one. Will you accept such? And Wike is not Tinubu. That will sit down. Wike is not as strong as Tinubu now. If it were to be Tinubu will sit down. He built himself already. Later, he will just remove you. But Wike
what is your definition of strong here now?
Yeah, the definition is Tinubu built a lot of politicians as far as this country is concerned, whether you like it or not. If Tinubu wants to be anything in this country, if it is politics, we have guys that work for him.
So indirectly, are you saying that President Tinubu is the godfather of Godfathers?
Whether you
and
like
that
it or not,
godfatherism is started from him?
It's not. This thing did not start from him. It has started a long time ago.
But isn't that what
presently Tinubu is the president of the Godfathers?
Okay, isn't that what is trying to spill over to Port Harcourt, and that's what Fubara is fighting?
That is exactly what is happening in Rivers. But the fact is, Fubara supposed at the first instance not come through a channel that you cannot defend.
All right.
That's just it.
Okay, all right. Let's quickly take matters on security. As the first one, Army retires 113 generals, and they've pledged support for democracy. Now, I'd like to talk about the antecedent of the army. That's 1. 2. Boko Haram attacks Chibok, kills 2, loots foodstuff. As we're talking about the level of insecurity and rising prices and everything that is going on, food security, and now we're talking about insecurity itself. Again. And now that people are going to be traveling a lot, I'd like you to probably tell us what you think would actually fix this. I mean, let's just think about a short-term, long-term thing,
medium-term solution. Number one thing is, the issue is actually not federal government problem alone. That's just it. It's not the federal government problem. It's our problem, because we have a lot of people that serve as intelligence for these bandits, Boko Haram, what have you. Number two, just day before yesterday rather, we have our people back from terrorists who actually abducted them while they were coming from
a party.
From a party. Yeah. The guy is actually my guy. The band is actually a band that have come on my program, my show.
The one that they from
Kobe.
Yes, we actually took it from on social media yesterday.
Of course. He had come on my show, my show 1 year. So I know him so very well, and he had escaped this
something similar to
this last year. That means somebody is actually giving those people information. So number one thing is, if as a people we cannot trust ourselves, then we have a problem. Then number two is this security that we're talking about, army. Are we feeding them well? There was a case in Ekiti before Afe Babalola, when you are traveling from Abuja before Afe Babalola, there are soldiers there. There are particular soldiers there that stopped one of our brother also last week, and they were telling him, the way you look, we're supposed to have taken you to where you don't know. Imagine a soldier saying that.
Oh wow!
So that people will just what? Are you getting it? So that means these soldiers, because they are not being paid well, many of them
they've been compromised.
Compromised.
All right, Dokita. So let's leave it at that. Our time is fast spent. So thank you so much, Dokita Olamide. Let's even take at least one video on social media, and there's this one on fake drinks, fake cousins, fake 4 cousins, fake 4 nephews. Beware. Let's see that one, and then we'll come to end the show. Are these ones the nephews or the cousins to 4 cousins? Because now we are saying big brothers, like 4 cousins.
Family.
Oh my God.
A nice cousin.
Please just beware of what you drink, especially in this Yuletide season. It's fake drinks, fake things are around. Beware of what you take. And also beware, just like Dokita has said, we are the ones doing ourselves. So when you travel, don't blow your trumpet. Don't shout it out loud.
Careful.
Be very careful. You don't need to spray money, shout money, or shout that I am here, everybody see me. Try as much as possible to do on the G, low key.
Of course.
On the G.
That's why nobody sees me when I went on. At least I spent over 350 to 400.
So don't keep it out loud.
Don't keep it out loud.
Anyway, we'll see you again next time.
All right.
Just keep preparing for Christmas. Yes, my name is Annabel Orji. I will see you on Saturday. Definitely. I will bring you Christmas comedy. My name is Annabel Orji.
Okay, and I am Babjide. See you same time, same station tomorrow on The Press. Bye for now.